Hello everybody, welcome to Vinaya's Crystal Porn Centerfold of the Week. Today we're going to talk about fluorite. Before we get into that little lecture, so to speak, working with crystals and finding out or knowing what the properties of crystals are is somewhat of a two-folded undertaking. We've been using crystals for thousands of years, and our ancestors, who were a little bit more connected to nature, were really perceptive in what certain crystals or minerals are doing, and all cultures were using it extensively. Now in these days when crystal healing came back into the consciousness of people, there was a compilation of what we know already. And then in these days we have a few people who are more connected again to nature, or like normally connected to nature, and have experiences with these crystals, so they compile these experiences. Now I can go with this knowledge of other people's experiences, and I sometimes do if I don't want to go through all the gazillion crystals I have and I really want to find out what somebody needs for a headache. I, for example, take my Bible, which is mirror actually. It's Love is in the Earth by Melody. And for fluorite, for example, what we talk about today, there's pages and pages of properties of the same stone. Now, another approach is that, yes, I might have some knowledge about the basic properties of a crystal, and I go with my intuition. I found that a fluorite, for example, does different things for different people in different times. So we really also want to go beyond the knowledge and develop our intuition and really be more in the moment. And crystals are very loud, so to speak. And by just tuning in and centering ourselves, we most likely will hear, experience, know, see the messages or the properties or whatever this crystal has to give to you for this moment. All right? Okay, so I'm not really telling much about every stone we talk about. I just give some basic understanding and talk out of my experience. And I just invite you to play around and see what comes with any given stone in your reality. Alright, enough about that. Let's talk about fluorite. Interesting enough, like we have about 2,500 different minerals on this planet we know about. And the names are coming sometimes from the place where it's found, in the case of ahorite, for example, or about the one who discovered that mineral, Bixbyite, for example, or fluorite, because it was the first mineral we as people discovered who is fluorescent, and so the name fluorite came out of it. And I will talk a little bit about properties of fluorescent minerals in a minute. Let's stick with fluorite at this point. I have a cluster of fluorite crystals here, which we found in Nevada. Fluorite comes in a cubic crystal form. And fantastic enough, one of the most favorite crystal forms for us is an octahedron, a double pyramid. It's also a basic crystal form of fluorite. Now that does energetically an enormous amount of different things. I get into this in a minute, and I want to show you one more fluorite, which is amazing, and I believe it's one of the first ones where we discovered fluorescence. It's from Wardale in England, and if you look at this crystal in in light inside, it is pure green. It's transparent green. Now if you take that crystal out into the sunlight, it changes, and additional blue color is coming out of this crystal. So you have green and blue, and it's because of the UV content of the sunlight. If you would put it in black light, the crystal would be absolutely blue. It's fantastic. Okay, so fluorite, it helps us to clean our aura, helps us to bring order in a chaotic situation, physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, environmentally. It's a very calming and grounding stone. It kind of doesn't like disorder. So if I put the fluoride on my third eye, for example, after being out and about in the 3D world, and I want to clean my energy field, I just take a few deep breaths, lay down, put it on my forehead, and let the stone do the things. If I have any disorder or dis-ease in my body, the fluoride naturally just wants to change it into an order. Now, it comes in all colors, and we also see sometimes rainbow fluoride from China, which has like really all colors in it. And so every other color in the fluoride will work specifically on the disorder of any given chakra. So green would be the heart, yellow would be my power, reddish would be more like in my base chakra, blue and purple would be higher up, and clear would be my crown chakra. So they specifically work on these centers and disorder in our energy field in our chakras. So emotional, spiritually, power, heart, all the good stuff. All right, another thing about fluorescent is there are a few minerals which are fluorescent and not that many. And what I found out is, and in the case of fluoride, because it fluoresces blue, it makes visible invisible energies. So blue would work really beautifully on my communication. I will see my challenges. It would beautifully work on my creativity. I will become more aware of how and what I really want to do and my designs and all of that good stuff. And it also works on becoming aware of how to, or what is stopping me from really looking inside and becoming aware about myself and be more content. So fluorescent minerals make the invisible visible. And then on top with our intention, as usual, really specifically going into an area we already know about, a wonderful tool. It has a very yummy energy, and it's actually a very common mineral, so it's very easy to get. And yeah, play around with it and see what happens. I wish you a wonderful day, and I hope that was beneficial and helpful, and I'll see you next week. Oh, by the way, every Wednesday at 4 p.m. Central Daylight Time, I will have short mini readings in the Facebook group Light Workers Feed Live. So if you want, join me there too. Wednesdays at 4 p.m. Central Daylight Time. Have a wonderful day again. Aloha and thank you.